Hello, and welcome to Radio to Real. My name is Rhonda, and I will be your host. Today we're talking about the movie School of Rock. It's a 2003 American comedy film directed by Richard Linklater, produced by Scott Rudin, and written by Mike White. The film stars Jack Black, Joan Cusack, Sarah Silverman, Mike White, a great cast, and especially all these young actors and actresses that are in the band. So a little plot about the movie. Jack Black plays a struggling rock guitarist named Dewey Finn, who is fired from his band and then poses as a substitute teacher at a prestigious prep school. After witnessing the musical talent of the students there, Dewey forms a band of fifth graders to attempt to win the upcoming Battle of the Bands and use his winnings to pay his rent. Again, it was released in October of 2003 by Paramount Pictures, and the film received very positive reviews from critics. And they praised Jack Black's performance and humor. Cool thing here is it was the highest grossing music-themed comedy of all time until the release of Pitch Perfect 2 in 2015. It's really fun in me that it got kicked out of the top spot by a movie that was the second movie of something. People enjoyed these characters so much that a stage musical adaptation opened on Broadway in December of 2015, and a TV show aired for 3 seasons on Nickelodeon from 2016 to 2018. And that just has to do with the movie. So now when it came to that era and awards, the film was nominated for several awards, including a Golden Globe for Best Actor, which unfortunately Jack Black lost to Bill Murray for Lost in Translation. I get it. Amazing movie. Sorry, Jack Black. And it won an MTV Movie Award for Best Comedic Performance. And then in 2004, the film won Best Comedy Film at the British Comedy Awards. So it did very, very well. And over time, it just kept up this cult following of being a music movie, a music-themed comedy movie, and it was highest grossing again. So in my eyes, I know we did Wayne's World for our first episode in 2003. Give it 10 years later, now we're in the 2000s. This is kind of like our Wayne's World. Totally different plot point, not even close. I understand that, but a really high praised music movie. So let's talk a little bit about the people in this movie. We have Jack Black as our main character. He plays Dewey Finn. We have Joan Cusack. She plays Roz. She's the principal. We have Mike White, who plays Ned Schneebly, a name we hear a lot because that's the name that Jack Black's character kind of steals to become the substitute teacher. Mike White is his roommate. And then we have Sarah Silverman, played Patty, who is Ned Schneebly's girlfriend, who does not like Jack Black and wants to kick him out of the house. Then there's the huge group of kids that play music, and they're the rock stars. There was a really cool process when it came to auditioning all of them, and it was all about their musical talents. Then there's a group of gentlemen, which is Adam Pascal, Lucas Babine, Lucas Papialis, Chris Stack, and Frank Whaley. They were a part of the Battle of the Bands kind of group. One of them was a director of the Battle of the Bands as a character in the movie. The rest of them were in the fake band called No Vacancy that Jack Black's character started off with and got kicked off in the beginning of the movie. Adam Pascal is the leader of that band, and he is a well-known Broadway performer. Very handsome. All of my links will be in the show notes. I went through a couple different websites like Vice and People to learn about what the cast is up to now, which we will talk about a little bit later, and just getting to know the film and the songs that are in it. So before we get to the play-by-play of the songs in the movie, just a little bit about the album. The album was released on September 30th, 2003. Sammy James Jr. of the band The Moonies Suzuki penned the title track with screenwriter Mike White, and the band backed up Jack Black and the child musicians on the soundtrack recording of the song. The film's director, Richard Linklater, scouted the country for talented 13-year-old musicians to play the rock and roll music featured on the soundtrack and in the film. So as we're going forward talking about all the songs in this movie, a lot of them are classic rock songs, very recognizable. And then there is a few original songs. A couple of them are by the School of Rock characters and kids, which they're saying here is Jack Black and the 13-year-old musicians, but it's also backed by Mooney Suzuki. They penned the title track with Mike White. So there was a lot of collaboration with this. And then there's also the extra band, No Vacancy, which is a fake band. It's not a real band. And it's just, again, led by Adam Pascal, who plays the character Theo. He's the front man. But it's a fake band. And that reminds me a lot of the movie Almost Famous, where the band Stillwater has original music in the movie, but it was just a fake band for the movie. But that has a really cool story. So someday I'll bring that up when we talk about Almost Famous. That's one of my absolute top 10 favorite movies. When you go to Spotify, it has 28 tracks. And I believe there are only a few extra songs kind of sprinkled into the movie, which we would talk about just for some background sound. So let's get started. As the movie opens, it's the opening credits, and Dewey is going to head over to his band's practice for his band No Vacancy. And at that time, No Vacancy is playing two of their different songs. One is called Fight, and the other one is Heal Me, I'm Heartsick. They start arguing, there's just some chatter going on. Then a song by The Clash starts playing called Stay Free. So now already we're hearing different styles of music, with No Vacancy. Heal Me, I'm Heartsick is kind of a slower song. They're changing their vibe. They're given that sad guy kind of look, rock star. There's a new guitarist, and he's just kind of like grinding in the air. Then it turns into that rock vibe, which we have The Clash. And then coming up soon, we have a cover of the Ramones. Do You Remember Rock and Roll Radio? An amazing song. So then we jump a little bit. There's some arguments going on between Dewey and his roommate. He gets the phone call for his roommate to be a substitute teacher. He poses as his friend. He goes to the preparatory school and meets Joan Cusack, her character there, which is the principal, and gets put in this classroom with all these kids. Meets them, gets to know them, doesn't really understand how to be a teacher. But then these kids head over to their music class. As Dewey Finn is walking past, he looks in the room and he sees these kids playing all these gorgeous classical instruments, and they are playing a certain concerto by Joaquin Rodrigo. Dewey Finn is hyped up now. He saw these kids playing this music, and they are all so very talented. As he's running back to the classroom, we now hear another song, and that is Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. And that's a lot of the music on this soundtrack is a lot of classic rock with very memorable, known riffs. So Sunshine of Your Love is the very, very first one. Now, this is where we get little pieces of different songs. Again, iconic riffs from that song. He is showing the kids the instruments in the classroom, telling them that he saw them in the classroom and they were amazing. Let's try out these more electrical rock instruments. During that time, he's teaching the kids how to play like bass, lead guitar, piano, keyboard, drums, all the stuff. So one of them that he plays is Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Iconic. Second, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Third, Highway to Hell by AC/DC. Fourth, Touch Me by The Doors. And then all together, they kind of fill it in. They play, again, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple, once they all have a few different instruments going. So now some silly things happen. The kids are expressing themselves. They're talking about music. Some Broadway songs and some popular pop songs come up. Then Amazing Grace is sung by one of the young girls who wants to be a backup singer. And also, Miranda Cosgrove starts singing Memory from Cats. Super cute. I love it. They're all little preteens. So we keep going, and they are researching music. They're talking about the bands. They're getting this grand idea together. The song Back in Black by AC/DC plays. Another great transition song that plays at this time is Substitute by The Who. Another great riff, not always a well-known track by The Who. Baba O'Riley is definitely one of their bigger hits, but Substitute, obviously because of the movie, he's a fake substitute. But the song is just amazing. It has a great riff to it, just like all the other songs. And that is on the soundtrack on Spotify. So this is where we start getting some original music besides No Vacancy. Jack Black is talking to the kids about writing their own songs. And then he comes up with this song called In the End of Time, where he's talking about putting together a rock band, not being able to pay his rent. You know, it's just like these kind of dark lyrics. But then he talks about being on a stage and what the smoke is doing and everything. That was written by Jack Black and Warren Fitzgerald. So after he's talking to the kids about writing a song and setting up the scene, he's passing out CDs to the kids for research. Some of the CDs being passed out, obviously the Zeppelin, the Zepp one. We have Blondie, Parallel Lines. We have Yes, the album Fragile. We have Rush, 2112. Jimi Hendrix, Axis, Bold as Love. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And Janis Joplin, Janis Greatest Hits. Those are not any songs that are played in the movie. They're just shown, the album covers, as he's passing out the CDs. And now back to the normal stuff. They're talking about being a part of the band again, and then one of the young performers comes up and says that she wants to be a singer, but she's nervous to kind of like let it out. So she starts singing the song Chain of Fools, and she just has this very soulful voice, and she's really into it. Again, another popular track. As we transition on to the next scene, the song Roadrunner is played by Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers. And after this transition, we're back into the classroom, and they're talking about writing music. This is, again, another original song where one of the young children, actors and actresses, are involved, and this is a song called Step Off. And it was written by Mike White, Liam Lynch, and Jack Black. Then as we transition, the song My Brain is Hanging Upside Down by the Ramones plays. And different pictures that are seen of artists are Pete Townsend of The Who, Jimi Hendrix, Angus Young of AC/DC, Iggy Pop, The Ramones, The Clash, Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, Art Blakey, Buddy Rich, and Keith Moon of The Who. So this is just a montage being able to show the kids different rock artists and how they could emulate them. Then there's a staff meeting. You know, again, he's posing as a substitute teacher. He's got to go talk to the adults too at times. So as they're talking to different teachers, a gym teacher, art teacher, they have the principal just walking around. They're sitting together. A song by Metallica is played in the background called The Weight. Then they start interacting with other students as they're sitting there. And he says, "Hey, Mr. Schneebly." A song by The Darkness is played in the background called Black Shook. Then as we continue, you know, the kids are just chilling, finding who they are in the classroom. We're back to learning. A song called Sad Wings by Brand New Sin is being played. And then this is where we get a iconic moment jamming out to a song in our car. Again, like I said, I feel like this is my era of Wayne's World where music plays such a strong part in the movie. The kids and Jack Black playing Dewey Finn, the substitute teacher, are on their way to one of the auditions for the Battle of the Bands. They are in his van, you know, it's punked out, like rocker van, barely any seats in it. They just packing all their stuff. At this time, Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin is being played. Now, before we move on, we're going to go over a little bit of fact about picking this iconic song. So, when Jack Black and the director, Richard Linklater, set out to clear the many songs they ended up including in the soundtrack, there was one track in particular that they were worried about being cleared, and that was Led Zeppelin's 1970 classic song, Immigrant Song. Led Zeppelin has been known for turning down people's requests to use their music, and they'd even rejected Linkletter's previous attempt to license some of it for his earlier film, Dazed and Confused. So even in another huge box office hit, Dazed and Confused, Led Zeppelin refused to have their song. But the director was desperate to have win them over for this time. Had it not been for Jack Black's efforts, the song might not have made the final cut. And at least in Jack Black's mind, it was well worth it because he considers it one of the best parts in the movie. So, let's talk about it. How did they go about getting Zeppelin's approval? Now, a cool thing, there is a bonus feature on the DVD that I watched back then that shows this moment when they are begging Zeppelin for this song. So if you have a chance to find the DVD, go to the bonus section. So it turns out Linkletter had Jack Black record a video at one of his live shows. Because again, Jack Black is a part of a band called Tenacious D. So at one of his shows, he recorded a live video of him standing on stage with the audience screaming behind him. And Jack Black is quoting, looking at the camera, saying, "Lords of Rock, Led Zeppelin, grace us with your mighty love." And as corny as Jack Black acknowledged the whole idea, the plea actually worked. And the legendary rockers gave them the okay after seeing it. And again, you could check out the video yourself on their bonus features, or you could look it up too on YouTube nowadays. The band reportedly thought it was hilarious. And Robert Plant, the lead singer of Zeppelin, spoke very highly of Jack Black's performance following the film's release. Quote, "Jack Black got it right down. All my grandkids have been able to play Jack Black's riffs. I think it was exactly the right thing to do with School of Rock, to blow our myth up into the sky for a while. Because it's all a myth. It doesn't matter. I've watched the film and it's funny." So from Robert Plant's perspective, he just enjoyed that his grandkids liked it and they were learning about rock music and felt like they can kind of understand the myth behind what Zeppelin is because of the music and how Jack Black and the Classroom kids had fun and reacted to it. So jumping way ahead, the night Led Zeppelin was honored by the Kennedy Center in 2012, Jack Black walked out to the tune of Immigrant Song and gave a speech where he called them the greatest rock and roll band of all time. And yes, according to him, that includes the Beatles, the Stones, and even Tenacious D. Jack Black quoted, "I just want to say thank you, because while you're in hell, the human race will cherish your heavenly jams till the end of time." You can watch that entire speech from the ceremony right on YouTube. Again, that was Zeppelin at the Kennedy Center Honors in 2012. So now we continue. We're back in the classroom. Jack Black's pretending to be the teacher. He's pretending to actually teach. And he's saying he uses the guitars to learn about math with the kids. So there's a made-up song called "Math is a Wonderful Thing" by Jack Black and Mike White. Then we continue on. There's another song being used called "Set You Free" by the Black Keys. Now, as we transition on, Jack Black's character asks Joan Cusack's character if they would like to go to lunch and get a drink together. He notices she's very uptight and he's really trying to pull the life out of her and get to know her a little bit more. And he could see, like, there's something in her. There's a spark he's trying to get to. So they're at the bar and they're having a drink. She's talking about being really uptight. He's like, "Yeah, I know." He remembers this thing that another teacher told him about her loving Stevie Nicks. So he walks to the jukebox, turns around, and plays the song "Edge of 17" by Stevie Nicks. They're all dancing, they're lip syncing. She agrees to allow the field trip to the rock band thing, and it was all because of Stevie Nicks. On to the next day. Right here, the song "For Those About to Rock" by AC/DC is played. As we continue on, and they're getting ready for the show, turning on the outfits, "Ballrooms of Mars" by T-Rex is played. Continue more. "Moonage Daydream" by David Bowie is played. And then he's in the classroom talking to the parents, and everything just kind of explodes and goes bad. He has to run away from the school. The principal finds out, the parents find out, and the song TVI by Wild Rats plays. One of my absolute favorites. That one's on the soundtrack. Now Dewey Finn is dealing with getting fired, having to run away, being in trouble. A song Right Into the Sun by the Velvet Underground is played. Now the kids come to his house and they're like, we got to do this rock band. Wake up. We still like you. You're stupid, but we understand it. Like, you shouldn't have done that, but we want to do Battle of the Bands. All the kids are outside, coming out of a school bus. The song What's My Name by The Clash plays. Then we show up to Battle of the Bands. No Vacancy, the fake band that Dewey Finn was a part of in the beginning of the movie, are playing their hit Heal Me, I'm Heartsick, which is the very kind of soulful, slow, like sexy rock one. Then we have the last two biggest songs of the film. And these are the original songs written by School of Rock, which is the kids and Jack Black, and Mooney Suzuki, which plays the backing of it. But all of it is pretty much Jack Black and the kids, and then Mooney Suzuki. Our first song is titled School of Rock. That's what they use to do Battle of the Bands. In their minds, in the movie, it was written by the one lead guitarist kid, and they rock the house down. The parents are impressed. They have a cool light show. They have awesome outfits. Jack Black is dressed up in a schoolboy uniform, looking like Angus Young from AC/DC. All the kids are wearing their own kind of vibe style of punk rock, black, white, red, plaid, spikes, skull and crossbones style. And they unfortunately don't win Battle of the Bands. They lose to No Vacancy. But since everyone loved them so much, they get a standing ovation and they get called out for an encore. And then during the encore, they start playing the song It's a Long Way to the Top by AC/DC. And it is Jack Black and the Kids, considered the band School of Rock, covering It's a Long Way to the Top. And this leads into the credits, which is still like a video of Jack Black and the Kids playing up in this apartment that they renovated into a school called School of Rock, where they're teaching how to play rock instruments and be a part of a band. School of Rock, the title, and It's a Long Way to the Top cover are also on the soundtrack. Then very, very towards the end of the credits, when the video is no longer playing, the song Mouthful of Love is played by Young Heart Attack. And that is our movie. Now again, there are 28 tracks on the Spotify soundtrack or wherever you like to listen to your music. I feel like it's good from beginning to end. It's one of those soundtracks that I could just throw on and enjoy. Really good combination of original music and classic rock. Just as much as Jack Black tries to do in the movie by showing these kids the history of classic rock and just music in general and being a musical artist, this soundtrack, I feel, reflects that. So even though it has not been that long, back in 2023, the film celebrated their 20th anniversary. Jack Black and the kids, no longer kids anymore, still stay in touch. The original 14 maintain a group chat to share updates and celebrate with each other's projects. And many of the child actors were real musicians who taught themselves more music during filming, often citing the experience as life-altering. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm really, really excited to continue on to different types of films. If you have any, I would love to know your favorite movie soundtrack so I could have some other great films to dissect. I'm definitely a movie buff, but I know there's so much out there and I would love to know what you would like to hear. So thank you again for listening, and I'll see you next time. Keep on rocking.